Alright, hello everyone, welcome back for this week's racing for MRC GT7 League. Today we are at Daytona. We got a bit of an interesting race format going on here. We're about to start the qualifying session, which is a 15-minute sprint race in old Formula 1 cars around the Daytona Oval. This should be fun, it should be a bit chaotic, and the idea of this was to go in line with the Indy 500 that happened this last weekend. So this is kind of our attempt at a little mini Indy, and this will set qualifying for the main race, which is at the Daytona Road Course in GR.1 cars. First time this league is in the GR.1 cars, and I think we are in for some exciting racing. My name is Eleventy. I'm joined here with Guitar Hero.
Hello, and yeah, chaotic is going to be a bit of an understatement, but excited for our first ever non-GR3 race here in Gran Turismo MRC League.
For sure. Alright, let's get this started. Let's go on board with Slammed or Craig up near the front. The order for this sprint race was set by the reverse finishing order of last week's race. And Izzy was starting on pole because he gave up. In the future, we're probably not going to allow that. But he gets a bit of a poor start there, and he's going to allow Racing Visitor out into the lead early in this one.
Slammed also, by the way, for the viewers, Slammed had a 3-place grid penalty, so that's why we started in 6th.
Back in 6th right now on... Oh, wow. Fetz is phasing through. Now, with this race, there was definitely some netcode connectivity issues. I think Gran Turismo, with the speed, the amount of people, it didn't really go too well. There were some interesting moments here, but I think it made for a fun race. We had Slammed on the back of Fetz. Now, the way we had this set up, you had to pit at least once, and even if you pit once, you were still not quite good enough on fuel. So there was some fuel saving to be done, unless you wanted to do 2 pit stops. So some interesting strategies here, but right now these guys are going all out, just fighting for these positions.
I'm curious to see if anyone pitted for tires. I don't think I took fresh tires. I think I went the whole race in mediums.
Yeah, I think I did the same strategy. But I know some people did go on the softs, so...
Look at this pack. I mean,
oh, as Racing Visitor all the way onto the grass. I don't know if that was just network or what.
Mine traveled...
Mike, below the yellow line. Oh, what's going on here?
Wow.
We're just staying on board with Slammed here. He's going to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back. Pretty much everyone. Izzy with the camel F1 livery. Everyone just trying to hold on to it.
Oh, it is a good penalty. I think we should take a look at the broadcast view here, get a bit better picture of just how chaotic it is. You don't see this kind of racing in the real life Indy 500, but...
Oh, as I go around and Izzy.
Oh my gosh, someone.
That's where I spun it.
Wow.
Let's go back.
I thought I saw the car flip for a second.
To the front of the pack. These guys still just fighting it out. Quasi almost
lost it there.
Below the line. Oh, Quasi looked like he...
Gotta say though, very nice livery for Quasi.
Yes. A lot of nice liveries for a lot of these guys.
Pecan, the Rock and Williams, very nice.
Quasi with a bit of a run here, maybe looking, put it up to the front. Getting help from Tricky Potato. So looks like our lead pack right now is Fetz up top, Big Blind in second, Slammed in third, Quasi in fourth. We got Tricky Potato, Trickmobile, and Guitar in the lead pack. And then back behind them, we got Mike in 8th, myself in 9th, Racing Visitor in 10th, Craig in 11th, and Izzy in 12th. I think Izzy might have had that contact with Quasi earlier. I'm pretty sure I saw that yellow car get spun around.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering why there's 12, I believe Crazy L just threw in the towel in this race. He got taken out or something, gave up.
But those outside of the pack are going to have a bit of a... Oh, as Quasi goes around. Rough time of it on the banking, trying to get it going. Looks like I'm gone past, or that was Mike. He's still not quite...
It is
struggling.
To,
Alright, I'm going to go back to this front pack here.
On this track.
Tricky, big blind. Getting some elbows out, it looks like.
Ooh, loose. David. I like the Red Bull livery he's rocking.
Red Bull Audi. Not sure if I've seen that before, but I like it. As that, believe that is Quasi. Now a lap down.
Still spinning his tires.
Yeah. Big blind to the inside. Tricky trying to find a big blind ahead right now. Tricky to his inside. Fetz filtering down into third. Now, just like Indy, leading is not necessarily the best thing to do at this point in this race. Even though this is only a 15-minute race, you do need to save fuel. So if you are able to stay behind a pack, go into fuel mode 3 or 4, and just sit there and save fuel, could help out, pay dividends later in this race. As they're almost 4 wide. Quasi in the battle, even though he's a lap down.
Someone's going in for fuel.
Looks like Big Blind, Trickmobile, and Fetz getting fuel already. That is about the lap that you would if you were just running all out. So
I don't know about the other guys, but see me up to third. I'm trying my best to stay in the tow here, and I was actually going lean fuel. I was trying to get a little smart with the strategy. And I was able to go with just one stop, but no, I believe I did gain a few positions in the end, so it worked out. You definitely use less fuel when you're slipstreaming behind someone.
For sure.
And
as the rest of them,
so the pack goes in. Slam makes a late call. I try to follow him, and I kind of screw up my strategy there.
Well, that can't work out too well for you. Now,
yeah.
at this point, coming into the pits now with Racing Visitor.
That's a hell of a send. We got no pit limiters.
No pit limiters.
Real driving simulator game.
90s F1. Or 80s, probably. But we got Guitar out in the lead right now. On the actual strategy lead, probably, I guess it's Fetz, I suppose. He's already pit Trickmobile, I believe. I think this will be the lead pack. Riding on board this Gran Turismo livery. Riding that wall. Camera gets a little bit weird when I get close to that wall. Big blind through. Fetz maybe just wanting to save some fuel at this point.
Quasi had a half-second penalty too. It's not a good race for him. Horrible luck.
Didn't exactly go to plan, no.
And even a half-second penalty on this track is just deadly. You lose all your momentum, your slipstream.
These guys weaving down the straight. Sweet Potato trying to hold that lead. Let's go look at the other packs. Trickmobile sit behind Quasi now. Myself pushing Mike along. Izzy up into 9th now. Racing Visitor behind him. Greg in 11th. Quasi a lap down. Getting blue flags. As Guitar comes in for the pits now, he's going to come out, I believe, just around me and Mike.
Yeah, I get a little lucky here, and I get the tow from you guys.
Definitely when you pit, you don't want to be by yourself. You want to come out with some other people. Let's take a look back at this lead pack with Fetz, Big Blind, and Tricky Potato. I believe the last time we did a sprint race, although it wasn't like this, Tricky Potato did win it.
Yeah, he's been pretty good at sprint races.
As Fetz still has Quasi and Trickmobile in behind. Quasi looking to make moves, even though it don't matter for much. Fetz might just want to stick behind him though. Get that draft, as these two are still battling it out. Tricky holding on to that lead. Quasi on the outside. Not pushing Tricky. There he goes. Sometimes you just gotta work together until it's that last lap. Tricky staying behind that pack. Slammed in 5th by himself. Mikey, myself, or Guitar and myself, we are in this pack trying to catch ourselves back up. Now, I know for me personally, I was happy just to stay behind you guys at this point, saving fuel, because I knew it was gonna matter. We were going to be short. Mike, you see, burning that fuel. Both of us have more fuel because he was staying at the lead of this pack, trying to catch back up. And then back behind here, we got Izzy and Racing Visitor trying to work together. However, that 5-second penalty is going to hurt both of them as Izzy gets that penalty, and Racing Visitor no longer has a drafting buddy. Izzy probably able to catch back up because the slipstream was set to strong. Now let's look back up at this lead pack. That's now right behind. Big Blind, Trick Potato still battling it out. 11 minutes into this 15-minute race. Quasi with a big bump, looking to get that lap back.
It's going to be a close finish between these guys. Again, fuel is going to play a role here, so it'll be interesting to see how these guys fare in the last lap. See, Fetz's rear right is almost completely gone. He went for the softs, which is interesting.
Oh, a little bit of side-by-side contact, and looks like Big Blind is getting into the lead of this. But Tricky Potato's not happening. He's trying to find that inside again. These two not worried about fuel usage.
So he might have leaned out a little bit there, I'm not sure.
Big Blind's right rear completely dead. So with Tricky's. Tricky still a bit better on fuel than Big Blind. Fetz around the same level as Tricky. So Tricky did a pretty good job when even staying ahead of this pack and saving fuel. Quasi still going for those runs. As soon as he gets out of that draft though, it slows right down. Yeah, let's see where Trickmobile falling behind the pack a little bit. Slammed is catching him up. As Big Blind comes into the pits, he realizes, I don't have enough fuel. I gotta come in the pits. I don't want to run out.
So this is the key battle to watch. Who's gonna get the win, Tricky or Fetz? Looks like Fetz might be in lean fuel here.
Yeah, Fetz still happy just to stay behind, save any bit of fuel. Use it on that last lap, because you can lead most of this race, but it's just whoever leads that last lap that actually matters. see at these other packs. Slammed. Trickmobile also coming into the pits. Big Blind coming out in 5th. At this point I separated myself from that pack. So I saved up enough fuel, able to catch the toe of Big Blind. We battle it out to the end. Let's check back here. This is going to be their second last lap, I believe. You see the clock in the bottom left there. 14:30 around as they cross the line, so this will be their last lap. These two know it. They're about the same level of fuel, but not very much for either of them. Looks like they're both going pretty slow in this backstretch. Around final turn.
He's gonna go for it. Is he gonna slingshot pass? Final stretch.
That's getting a bit of a run. He's going around the outside, coming to the finish. Oh, photo finish. Tricky Potato gets it by an inch. I end up 3rd. Oh, as Big Blind looks like he didn't take enough fuel, runs out of gas. Guitar able to come in 4th, slammed in 5th. Big Blind in 6th, Trickmobile in 7th, Racing Visitor in 8th, Craig in 9th. It looks like a Mike out of gas as well, with Izzy and Quasi being a lap behind. Alright, well, it might take a little bit for Mike to cross the line there, but that's it for our sprint race. So this will set the order for the main race. So Tricky on pole for a second time from the sprint races. Pretty interesting race. Guitar, any thoughts?
No, it was, I mean, it's a bit of a lottery, you know.
For sure,
Some
for
people
sure.
just gonna get bad luck, but that was a good battle at the end. I think Fetz maybe should have went for the move a little bit earlier, but either way, great start.
It was close. I think they were both probably tiptoeing it because they didn't know if they had enough fuel to actually make it to the end, saving that last push. But yeah, it was a close one. All right, and so that's it for our sprint race. We are going to move on to the main race. We will see you guys in a sec. All right, now we got the main show. This is 1 hour GR1 race, Daytona road course. I'm excited. Are you excited, Guitar?
Yeah, our first ever GR1 race. It's been a long time coming.
For sure, these cars are fast, they're grippy, they're fun. Let's get into it. Lap 1. Here we go. And we are off. So, as we said, Tricky Potato on pole, Fetz in 2nd. Guitar in 3rd as Big Blind gets a good run. And some
That's good.
contact there between Guitar, Fetz.
Big Blind going into
Coming to the 3rd turn.
in here. And
Hitting
get bumped.
myself, yes.
There's a car off back there.
Believe that was Quasi.
Don't know if you want to go back and see the replay or not, but yeah, I did accidentally bump him into the grass. Sorry, Quasi. I was on hards. But yeah, just my mistake.
Guitar on the inside, a little bit deep, putting Quasi in the grass, and that's going to cost him some time.
Yeah, not
Looks
a good
like Craig going a little deep as well. A bit of a chaotic start for sure, and there is more chaos further in this race. But out front, we got Tricky. Started on pole, he's keeping it. Fetz in 2nd as he spins it, a little loose, gets on the grass, able to use the asphalt on that other circuit. He's going to fall into 4th. Big Blind, Fetz almost everyone slammed going into the wall.
A tire barrier
going wide.
deadly there. Gotta keep an eye out for that.
For sure.
See, a lot of these are hybrid GR1 cars. You can see once the drivers are getting up to about 230, 250 kilometers an hour, the top speed kind of falls off. They're more geared towards acceleration out of the corners. Coming up on the bus stop chicane. Cut it a little bit there.
My apologies if I skipped through, as Guitar gets half a second penalty. Alright, so starting lap 2.
Is starting second lap in the lead. Keeps the lead from his
leading the first lap. I'm getting a bit of a run here. We got 2 Cadillac Porsche 919s. I get the inside. I get a little loose on the exit. I'm just staying behind. I like to go on the inside. Braking a little early. Tricky going a little deep. I'm able to get that car turn power down. We are side by side through this middle section. I have a bit better of an exit. Able to get the run. Still side by side on the inside and able to take that position going into the final turn before the backstretch. Tricky goes a little bit deep into the back. I didn't feel it too much, and I end up in the wall. Tricky waits up as I try to get back, and that allows Fetz to go on into the lead. So, second lap here, Fetz now leading. Myself in second, Tricky in third. Guitar getting that run. Better exit onto this, the oval section. Guitar up into third now. Looking like he's almost getting a run on me.
I believe just good job defending the inside. Again, just loose through this chicane.
Yeah, it must be hard on the hards, right?
Yeah, it's not the quickest tire.
As we got a little battle here for fourth with Tricky, Big Blind, and Quasi. Quasi making up a bunch of positions, up to fifth already.
Yeah, his pace was really strong. He just had bad luck at the start of this race, but
Tricky hold that inside. Quasi braking early. And as Big Blind gets the switcheroo, moving up into that fourth position.
Quasi there.
We got Tricky with a big dive and some contact. And unfortunately puts Big Blind into the grass. He's going to lose a couple positions there. Back down to sixth. Racing Visitor in seventh. Izzy in eighth. Crazy and Slammed, having a little battle. Slam going up the inside, getting that position. And we got Craig in 11th, Mikey in 12th, and Trickmobile must have had not a great start. He's down to 13th.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him, but I did see there was a couple cars that had really bad starts off the grid. Not sure what happened there. The Tricky Tato
might be those the hard runners.
Could be. Good battle here through the bus stop.
Quasi
trying to get his revenge on me, and I see he has a better run. I let him through. He, I mean, within just a few laps, he's already into P4. I could tell he was on better tires than me. Have a look, but it's just not worth making a move when I'm on hards.
The softs definitely ended up being the better tire to be on. It's a little bit of lag here. It's Quasi getting that position up into fourth now. Fetz still leading. Self about maybe 2 seconds behind, I would say. Tricky about 2 seconds behind again. Quasi still looking to move up this field.
A lot of drivers getting a little bit loose in the corners. It's really easy to get loose with these cars with how much power they have with the hybrid boost in the low range or the low gears.
For sure, yes. The Porsches have the bigger advantage on the infield. Their acceleration out of the corners is mind-boggling fast, but they don't quite have the speed on the straights. So a couple of guys in the Audi and the Peugeot, they have the top speed on the oval portion, but suffer in the middle section. As Quasi route right on the back of Tricky. Both these guys in the Porsches. Looks like Quasi staying in 6th gear. Tricky putting it into 7th down the straight. Now 7th gear, oh!
He hits the tire barrier.
Tricky
there.
hitting the tire barrier.
You got to be very careful with the move on the inside there, and it didn't work out for him.
Luckily, the recovery wasn't too bad, losing that position to Quasi, but staying ahead of Guitar and Big Blind.
You can see where Quasi had some bad luck at the beginning of the day. It was Tricky here that really started to have some bad luck on a day where he otherwise had pretty good pace.
Oh, in contact, Big Blind and Guitar.
Here,
moving Guitar out of the way. Will he give the position back? He does. He lets off. But he's still going to be right behind you, Guitar, in that slipstream. Maybe going to be looking to make a move at the bus stop. He doesn't quite go for it. Oh, but he's getting the outside. Good run out of it. Still right on the rear end of Guitar. Just push him along right now. As he makes the move around the outside into T1. Getting that car stopped and getting that position. So Big Blind up into 5th.
Did all he could there, but you could tell the tire advantage was huge on that corner. For Big Blind, that is.
So the battle for first heats up. So I'm getting the run. Holding that inside. On the grass a little bit, but getting that position through the bus stop. That's myself up in the lead. Fetz now in 2nd. Still where he started. Pretty good run from Fetz so far in this race. Quasi in 3rd. A little ways back. Tricky in 4th. Big Blind now up to 5th. Looking to catch back up to Tricky. Guitar in 6th. Racing Visitor up into 7th. Pretty good run from him so far. Slammed right behind him. And Izzy not too far back as well. Same with Crazy. Greg and Mike kind of all still in that group. Slammed might be the closest though.
Wow,
As Slammed almost going up the inside. Looks like some internet issues there, maybe making it a little bit uncertain whether a move can be made. Racing Visitor still with those flashes. Oh, Racing Visitor. Oh, into the back of Slammed. I didn't see that in the race. Oh, but he's waiting up.
And meanwhile, Izzy goes through, but nice of Racing Visitor to slow up there for Slammed.
And that's how that should be done. If you make a mistake, just wait up, give the position back. And we're back going. Oh, but Slam now going a little bit deep. Avoiding Izzy, but finds himself back into the dirt. With Crazy coming up now. Oh, Slam's still in the dirt. He's not able to keep the tires on the tarmac. Slam down into 10th. Izzy up into 7th.
I could be wrong, but I believe Slammed, seeing his top speed there on the main straight, I think he might be in the 2011 Audi, which is the turbo diesel one. because it's not a hybrid, I believe it's not as quick in the infield section coming out of corners. You can tell he definitely not as quick in that section, but it's right here after the bus stop where you can really make up some ground on these guys.
Sure, especially coming to that line. We got a racing visitor on Izzy now. Izzy in this nice Fanatec monster livery. Oh, I like it. Crazy, almost looking to make a move. Now Crazy definitely with the top speed there in that Peugeot, able to just eat up that gap to a racing visitor. As looks like we got slammed on the inside. And look how much able to just power through. Now Guitar was saying Slam was in the Audi. I'm pretty sure this is the Porsche.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe he just had a good slipstream in that one lap.
Both those cars.
I believe Izzy is in the other Audi though. He was doing well over 300 in the main straight, and it has a different
Yes,
front
I
end.
think this is the Audi. Yes.
It's the older one. I know Izzy's an Audi guy in real life, so it makes sense.
Although he's running Ford for our championship, is Izzy able to defend that position?
I should note the manufacturers' affiliations for this season are not going to apply to GR1 races. Obviously, you have drivers that are driving for Nissan and Ford, those types of manufacturers that don't have GR1 cars in the game.
Yeah, one-off event. We'll be doing this again. Let's take a look. Back up here, we got Big Blind approaching the back of Tricky.
I made a mistake. Nissan actually does have a GR1 car, but you get the point anyways.
Yes. Tricky with the penalty. That's definitely going to hurt him. Big Blind, better exit as well. Sitting right behind Tricky. Looking to go into the bus stop. Pretty close. Oh! As Big Blind sitting right behind Tricky. Misses that braking point.
Yeah,
Pushes Tricky.
And he's got a penalty already, so he's going to lose out a lot of time there.
Definitely.
Will
hurt for Tricky.
6th.
Luckily, Racing Visitor's a little bit behind, so he's not going to lose any more positions, but that track time definitely hurt him. But up front, we still got myself. Fetz in second. Quasi approaching in third. Quasi going onto the grass. It's definitely not the fastest line, but he makes it work. Big Blind in 6th. It's funny how much darker it is over there than here.
Yeah, I was just going to say we're getting into darkness, and I always like the night races at Daytona. They're always
for sure the
cool looking.
Speedway is always lit, as they say in.
Yes. It is a bit unusual that there's no option for rain in this game. When we all know Daytona, it's in Florida. There's usually a lot of brief rainstorms.
It's a bit of a shame. It would add some interesting aspects to this race for sure.
I'm sure with all the chaos that ensued in the sprint race, it'd probably be even more hectic if we had a wet oval racing in this game.
We're about 16 minutes into this race. Got myself in first, Fetz in second, Quasi in third, trying to hunt down Fetz. Big Line in 4th. Guitar in 5th. Tricky in 6th. Izzy in 7th. With Slammed on his outside. These guys are going to be battling it down the straight. But I believe Izzy in that Audi is going to have the legs. See, even with the draft, Slam not able to get up behind Izzy. Get through that first turn.
Yeah, I just double checked. You were right. Slammed is in the Porsche, which so many of the front runners were using in this race.
Yes, definitely was the
vehicle
choice for most.
It
Slammed.
doesn't have the top speed of other cars, but as you can tell, I mean, so many of the guys who were using the non-hybrids, like the Peugeots and the
Oh,
Audis,
Slammed once again. Getting it wrong there. He was able to get that move on Izzy, but put in the grass, he's going to have to do it all over again. So Izzy holding on to that 7%. Oh, but Izzy spins it.
Pirouette. Good save.
Slammed. Able to sneak on by. However, I wonder if Izzy's going to be able to come back at him with that top speed advantage.
Gonna be close. Just
Izzy not making the move yet. Pretty good exit, sitting behind Slammed. Slammed is able to accelerate away a bit quicker, I should say, with the hybrid system in the Porsche. But Izzy just extra horsepower, able to run around the outside and get that position back. However, Slammed should be able to use his advantage in this section now, though. Let's see if he can do it one more time.
He is on hards, though.
Inside. Slammed is on the hards. So is Izzy, though. And Slammed making that move one more time. Oh. Oh. Okay, not entirely sure what happened there. Looks like some internet glitch, but so make the move. Is he going to go wide here again? No, he makes the corner. And holding on to the position. However, I'm still curious if Izzy is going to be able to catch back up on the straight, as we can hear some debris hanging on the wall there. He's a bit further back this time. Is catching up, but I don't think it's going to be enough for a run on this lap at least. Oh no, and that's definitely not going to help him. With the penalty to boot. Alright, everyone's almost settled here. We got Crazy and Mike with a bit of battle. I got some fun facts for you guys. Last weekend was the Indy 500. It was the 107th running of that race, the second oldest race in the world. The first event took place in 1911. That was a long, long time ago.
11-11.
11-11. If you watch the race, you'll know that they drink milk at the end. This was started back in 1936 when Louis Mayer won the race and decided to guzzle a bottle of buttermilk. And after
wouldn't be
that,
my choice of drink on a hot day, but
it wouldn't be mine. But it seemed to catch on because it became a tradition after that. The winner always gets a glass of milk. I also know before the race, every single driver gets to pick what kind of milk they want. I believe skim, whole, 2%. I know there's different names in the States. But it's not just one type. You get to pick.
yeah, we had a problem getting the milk to Tricky a little far away, so unfortunately we weren't able to get him his cold glass of milk. Hopefully he was able to get it from his own fridge.
You're expecting a video
nevertheless,
soon.
Solid performance from him.
For sure. I got another little fun fact for you. The longest Indy 500 race happened in 2004 when rain delays stopped the race 3 times, causing the longest broadcast with a record-breaking time of 8 hours and 22 minutes. I gotta say, that's probably one of the better ways to spend a Sunday afternoon. Probably some pretty good naps between there. Doesn't say you ended up winning that race, but... Also, imagine just being in race suit, racing mindset for 8 hours and 22 minutes. I mean, it's almost as long as well, okay, it's not almost as long, but 24 hours races are longer, but, I mean, when you're going into a 24-hour race, you're expecting it to be long. The 500, it's 2 hours, and you end up sitting there for 8 hours. The drivers have to be exhausted by the end of it.
Yeah, it reminds me of that NASCAR race the other day. That went for 6 hours.
Yeah.
Not sure how they can do it. A lot of concentration required. There's a yellow flag out. Oh, and so you might want to rewind.
Yeah, I'm not.
Get some context here. So Craig was being blue flagged as Quasi was coming up on
Quasi
him.
coming around.
And I think he tried to let him by awkwardly, didn't go too well. He then went off the track in the grass, and then ended up punting Quasi in the corner as well. They both went off track. Very awkward incident.
Yes. So we do obey our blue flag rules there. What Craig should have done is stay to the outside or give that position up earlier. And for that, Craig was given a qualifying ban for the next race he attends to. Where we looked over that incident last night.
Yeah, there's quite a few penalties handed out at the end of the race, and after we finished watching the race, we can maybe go over the penalties.
Oh, here's the other incident. Izzy braking early, trying to get the position. Big Blind ends up in the back. Let's look at that one again. So Izzy with the run with the faster top speed car, almost looking to take that position back, or a lap back, decides against it, slows up and brakes early for the turn, trying to let Big Blind through. However, so close to that corner, Big Blind just wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, and, the thing to keep in mind is if you're going to let a faster car through, you're going to want to ideally move off the racing line. Kind of a
good intentions. But just a bit of confusion there that unfortunately put Izzy into the wall. It's going to hurt that race even more. We got a bit of a battle here between Mike and Crazy. Mike getting that position. But I have a feeling Crazy might be taking it back. Oh, what's going on with this camera? Top speed. That Peugeot. Mike falling in behind, trying to get that draft. Looks like might have to do that again. Alright, we are about 25 minutes into this race. Almost halfway. So I got myself out into the lead. Fetz still sitting in second. Quasi in third. Big Blind
Just
starting
noticed
to catch up.
when we were riding on board with your car, I noticed the times. You could see there on lap 10 you set a 1:33.098, the fastest lap, and that actually ended up standing for the rest of the race. So
Yeah,
11
it did.
you had the fastest lap, which gave you a bonus point. Congratulations. I don't know how you were going that fast. Like, I was in the same car.
That
You were
was the
schooling me.
fastest lap I've done in beat anything in practice or anything. So I don't know. The car was just feeling good. I was in clean air and just able to put some good lap times in there. And you can see I'm almost out of fuel, so I think I pit this lap. And I think what really sealed sorry, I'll spoil the race. Shut my mouth. We're getting into the middle section of this race. Everyone's a bit separated now. I don't see any battles on track. Closest one I see is right here between Craig and Izzy. As I do come into the pits, sorry, so does Fetz. Wazy pulling in as well. Big Blind. He's going one lap further, looks like. Trying the overcut.
What's the track position? See if it works.
See if that works.
Looks like he probably has enough fuel for the lap, so.
It's Guitar now coming into second.
Now, Big Blind was on softs, so when he pits, he's either going to have to put the hards on or do a two-stop strategy.
Yes, I believe myself, Fetz, and Quasi were all on softs. I believe we all put on the hards.
Can you go back to Fetz there for a second? See his livery? He's got a little Norwegian themed livery. That's nice. Nice to see.
What is it? I didn't notice it.
On the tail there, or yeah, the rear bodywork, it's got a little Norwegian flag. It's probably some real racing livery.
Oh, I see, yeah. Porsche Intelligent Performance. Might be a real life racing team. I'm not quite sure, but Big Blind coming around. I'm pretty sure he's going to have to pit this lap. And there he comes. We will see where that puts him. Oh, it looks like I got myself half a second penalty. That's never too good. Going around. Big Blind still in the pits. Fueling up now. I come across the line. That's on the backstretch. Looks like he's going to get ahead of Big Blind as well. Quasi coming around.
Mike's up to P6 as well.
Mike up here as well. Big Blind still in the pit, so it looks like that overcut didn't quite work out. As I believe he's going to be further behind Quasi than when he started. Quasi on the hards, Fetz on the hards, well. Myself on the hards, and Guitar starting on the hards. And the lead now hasn't hit. So what was your strategy right now in this middle of the section of this race? Were you thinking of just keeping the tires going long? Like, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really put that much thought into the strategy. I just figured I could get away with a one stop, so I was committed to the one stop as far as fuel. And I figured it probably wouldn't help me that much in terms of time to keep the same tires on. But I figured I might as well just try it. The hards weren't wearing that much. You can see we're halfway through the race now, and they're not that bad. So I actually just kept the same set on for the whole race, and that turned out to be not like the best strategy. But my thinking was, I felt like in practice I wasn't doing your 133 times on the softs or the mediums, so I decided to just gamble on the hards. It probably wasn't the best strategy running the same set the whole race, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I started on the softs. I didn't do a whole lot of practice on the hards. That kind of hurt me. This, as we see, racing visitors going a little wide, allowing Quasi to get through the traffic pretty easy.
Had I known the softs could last, half a race or nearly half a race, then I would have just started on those.
Yeah, I started this stint on the hards, and I wasn't a huge fan of them. My lap times were about, you can see I was doing 33s before I pitted. First lap out of the pits was a 35. This lap was about a 35, so it's about 1.5, almost 2 seconds slower a lap on the hards. And my other thinking was I didn't get as far as I needed to in the first stint in order to one-stop it. So I was sitting here on the hards on a tire that I didn't really like, and thinking, oh, am I gonna have to save fuel with this stint to stay do one stop, save fuel now with the hards? And then I started thinking maybe I should just run these for a bit, come back in when I know that I can fill up and run fuel map 1 to the end and put the softs back on, which are quicker. And that's what I decided to do, and it seemed to work. So that was what's going through my mind right now, and I was just waiting. I knew I got about 26 minutes, I believe, of running on that first stint, so I was waiting till about the 34-35 minute mark, and then I was planning on coming in to pit again, and that was my strategy for the race.
Yeah, that was quite a clever strategy, honestly. The one thing to keep in mind is that for this race, we put the tire wear and the fuel wear to 3 times instead of the normal 4 times that we use for the GR3 races. So the effect that had is that when we're doing GR3 races, typically you want to use the hard tires longer to get more life out, just to utilize them, because if you go soft, repeatedly, you're probably gonna have to do an extra stint. But in this game, in this race, you just timed it out pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. And the 3X, the fuel was fuel usage was a bit better than I thought it was going to be, but I think it worked out pretty well in terms of the differing fuel strategies, because there were some people who still did 2 stops like myself, some people who just did 1 stop, and in the end it would probably be pretty close. So I think when we go back to GR3, we're going to go back to 4X, but it's something to keep in mind that maybe in the future we could look at different settings that might make these races even more interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, my strategy was a very safe one. It wasn't bad. It didn't work out, too bad. But again, it didn't really allow me to, push the pace to really compete with the guys at the front as much.
Sure. All right. We are 35 minutes into this 1-hour race. Myself in the lead, Quasi in second. He ended up doing a pretty similar strategy to myself. Big Blind in third, Fetz in fourth, yourself in fifth. So pretty good race for you.
Yeah, I just tried to keep it as clean as I could, and I just stick to my strategy.
Definitely up in the field, and in position for some good points there.
Something that I think haven't addressed, we kind of forgot about, was that at this point, Trick Potato is no longer in the race, and
yes.
he's been gone for I think 10 or 15 minutes at this point. Now, what happened was he simply just disconnected. Something happened.
Yeah.
I think his console shut off
Yeah, I think he was
unexpectedly.
saying the PlayStation
And
was just turning off.
he rejoined the party, rejoined the lobby, but of course in this game, you're not able to get back into your car like you are in F1 if you disconnect. So it's unfortunate. Obviously, he was having some issues in the race as well. Wasn't able to convert, his pole position to like a podium position when he was in the race. But nevertheless, he could have easily had a top 5, maybe even a podium.
For sure. But he is still getting points for that sprint race win.
He did get his points for that.
So we're watching a bit of a battle here between Mike and Crazy. As they're getting blue flags, Crazy getting a little loose. Oh no. Keeping it on the asphalt though. Yes, at this point I put back on the softs, took fuel. So I'm sitting behind Quasi. About 5 seconds back or so. And Big Blind not too far off me as well.
Yeah, Quasi's been locked in. I mean, like I said, he had such bad luck early on, but his pace through the rest of the race has been excellent.
Absolutely. It's a long race. You need to just try your best to stay out of incidents. Keep your laps consistent. And that pace will find itself working.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have an incident, maybe the first lap is the best one to be taken out, because there's lots of time, there's cars bunched up, you can always kind of get back to the pack. Even saying that, he was also accidentally taken out by Craig, so
yes.
He had more than one incident that he was involved in this race alone, and you can see he's currently leading, so it's quite impressive.
Oh yeah. Quasi's always fast, and definitely came through some adversity here.
This was his 7th start of the season out of 8 races, and he came into this with 5 wins. He has the most wins of anyone this season by far, and currently leading the championship.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what Quasi's plan was here. But I think at this point he probably saw that I put the softs back on, and I did that second pit. And I was catching him about a second a lap. You can see 35.2, 35.5, 35.7. And, okay, I pit there on 23 and 22, but that first lap was a 34. So that's about a second a lap faster. And so I was catching Quasi at this stage, and Big Blind was sitting in third, still on those hards. Making his way through that traffic.
Big Blind as well in third.
Yeah.
See how far ahead of Fetz is he? It's not a big gap.
Probably about 7 or 8 seconds is my guess. As everyone's a little spread out now.
A lot of the races we do tend to kind of end up like this at this stage, where it's not as much about the on-track overtakes. It's more, about how the strategy is going to play out.
For sure. That's what I like about these. I would describe it as a mini endurance race. 1 hour is not altogether all too long, but it definitely allows for the strategy to really come into play, and it can win or lose races for you.
Yeah, and of course consistency is so important. Like, you can have 10 amazing laps in a row, and then you put it into the wall on the 11th lap, and that whole advantage you were building is gone. So you just have to stay consistent.
But getting a little loose there on the hards. That's also on the hards. So I believe he was on a one-stop strategy. Maybe even in some fuel saving. Are still sitting comfortably in that 4th spot.
Alright, there's some action ahead. Let's go to Pepin. Big blind, I think.
Oh, yeah, who's that? Sorry, let's just go back real quick.
Craig.
Oh, yes, Craig tries to take out Pepin. This was the start of some actions that we don't condone in this league. Craig once again trying to take out Pepin. Dirty driving here.
He is going to end up cutting across one of these.
Yes.
Sections.
This
Luckily,
just
I think he
completely dives bomb it. Goes
Someone
through.
ghosted there.
That could have been a big accident there for Big Blind. But
we'll have to see how that plays out the rest of the race. But obviously, you never want to see that. I get, Craig had some frustration with Big Blind for other incidents that were going on in the race, but yeah, you can't be.
You never do that.
Obviously, we try our best to take a look at incidents, apply penalties where they are, or where we believe that they're deserved. As I say that, Pepin just got a penalty in the game, but yeah, you can't just be taking people out in the middle of a race.
No. As Quasi comes into the pits now, getting off those hards. Looks like Izzy and Mike might have a little battle going up here. Izzy with the speed on the straight. Just looking to go up the inside. Little deep, looks like he gets it turned in though. Mike trying to come back. Pretty close behind, not quite enough to make a move. As Izzy keeps the position through that infield section where the hybrid cars definitely have the advantage. Looks like he's gonna extend that. Here's another fun fact about the Indy 500. If all of the Indy 500 hot dogs and bratwurst sausages sold on race day were placed end to end, they would circle the oval more than 3 times. Those hot dogs are getting 3 full laps. That's a 2.5-mile oval. It's a lot of hot dogs.
Yeah, I say we make another version of the Indy 500. The track's made of hot dogs, and we race them on just
a hot dog track.
The brickyard. We can have the
hot dog track.
wiener yard.
The wiener yard. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Are they cooked or are they raw?
I mean, depends. Depends how you want them, I guess. Might take a long time to cook that many.
And then afterwards, the crowd can just eat the hot dogs.
They can just eat the track, yeah.
Eat the track.
That's true.
That's very, environmental thinking right there.
It's incredibly sustainable.
Yeah. I think we're onto something with that.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I would say they just leave the hot dogs uncooked, and then they use the tires to cook
of the engine and the tires. I like it.
Exactly, and the sun
like it
as well.
And the sun as well.
Yeah.
Shark Tank, here we come.
And they might be a bit slippery at the beginning,
yeah,
but we want to encourage spins so we can heat up the hot dogs faster.
So dirty driving allowed.
Yeah. We can get some hot dogs. We can get is Johnsonville, is that the company that makes hot dogs? Get them on the case for the Johnsonville 500.
I'm sure they'll be happy to supply the sausages.
100%.
Yeah.
You can also never mind.
As the sun is coming up on this race. About 12 minutes left. This 1 hour GR1 race. We're in the closing stages now. We still got myself out in the lead. Quasi in second. Big Blind in third. Pretty close to Quasi now. As Quasi did come in for that pit. I should have watched when he came out. Might have been a battle there.
We had our minds on the glizzies.
Yeah. But Quasi in second now. Ahead of Big Blind in third. Fetz in fourth. And some traffic. Guitar in fifth. Slammed in sixth. Izzy in seventh. And Crazy in eighth, looking like he had some trouble in that infield section. Mikey in ninth. With Racing Visitor in 10th. Trickmobile in 11th. In that Audi. And Craig in 12th.
Seeing these camera views, it kind of makes me wish this game had B-Spec mode. Do you remember B-Spec mode in the old Gran Turismo games?
I do not.
Oh, I think it was back in Gran Turismo 4 or 5, one of those, where you could, instead of driving the car, you just spectated and you gave your driver commands. It's kind of like a manager game.
Okay.
Within Gran Turismo. So yeah, it'd be cool. I didn't really appreciate it back in the day. I guess I was too young, too mature. I wasn't familiar with playing those kinds. I like being in the car.
Driving,
but,
yeah.
But yeah, now I would definitely appreciate that more. Do like GR1 B-Spec races.
It's tricky in the grass a little bit, saves it. Oh, but getting himself a penalty. So we got a yellow flag. And a blue flag. As Craig comes and just completely punts Big Blind. That was
yeah, another very dirty move. And
yes.
this is at the point where big blind. You can see he has rear wing damage from that, or rear bumper damage, I guess. Of course, as you'd expect. But he was quite, frustrated, as you would be. And we took a look at, all these incidents together, multiple attempts to take out Big Blind, vigilante style, and of course we decided to disqualify Craig from this race.
Yes.
I mean, that's the bare minimum. We do have some other penalties that we can get into later at the end of this race, because obviously I don't think that's enough. I think, drivers shouldn't be doing that.
We do not condone this type of actions. If you have any incidents in the race, you let us know. We'll take a look at it and try our best to come to a fair penalty. But yeah, we do not condone trying to take out another driver from out of frustration.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of league racing really is to, have rules and to drive clean,
yeah,
competitively. Open lobbies are where you get this kind of chaos.
Yes.
Dirty driving, etc. So it looks like you've built a bit of a lead at the front at this point.
Slam battling it out.
Having a look
Not
down
for
the
position
inside.
though. Slam's in 6th, Mike's in 8th.
So that's true. Okay.
Slams. Oh, looks like you're coming up on the back of Fetz.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I believe Fetz was saving fuel at this point. Until,
yes,
you go on board. Yeah, I think he was.
Much less fuel than you.
So I think what happens is either he ends up having to, either he saves fuel and then realizes the inevitable, which is that he has to pit, or I believe he just ran out of fuel at the end. Which we'll see. We've only about 7 minutes left in this race. It's getting close. And, I did actually put in 35.6. I don't know how, but I guess finding
35.6,
some more pace.
It's not too bad on the
End
hards.
of the race. Maybe the slipstream was helping me or something.
Pretty awesome camera view right there. Seeing the cars come at you. The speed of these GR.1 cars through that bus stop is incredible. The level of downforce in these modern prototypes is immense. You can just fly through corners. It's quite a bit different than the GR3 that we're used to.
Yeah, I mean, watching some of the onboards are crazy. And comparing them to myself, I think I was being even a little bit too, safe with some of these corners, especially the bus stop. I think I could have taken it even more aggressively than I was. I just wasn't as familiar with the car compared to the GR3s.
Slammed is in the pits now.
Yeah, looks like he needed maybe a bit of fuel. Puts on softs as well.
Is he a little bit, quite a bit farther back, so he's safe in that 6th spot. It looks like you're making a move. On the outside, Daytona banking. Side by side.
I like that camera angle.
into the braking Fetz. At that inside line, able to go a bit deeper, holding on to that position.
Yeah, that was a good move by Fetz. I forgot about that. I think I backed off a bit knowing that he was on my inside. But yeah, you can see I have far more fuel than him, so I'm just playing it safe. Fetz was pretty quick today. I knew that he had more pace than me, so the only way I was probably going to beat him was on strategy or fuel.
Yeah, and Fetz almost out of fuel at this point.
Running out of fumes.
.56.5 minutes into this race. We only got a couple laps left. Fetz is fighting for this position, but he must know at this point that he needs to be saving because he's not going to make it. In fact, I think he's probably going to have to come in this lap. Yeah. So a great race for Fetz, but it just didn't seem to work out in the end. As once again through the bus stop, able to hold on to that position.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. He had such better exits at that corner than I was getting.
But there he goes into the pits. There's a little splash of fuel. And that's gonna...
Curious to see if he changes tires.
I would assume not.
Maybe try to go for fastest lap.
Yeah, I guess you could. Looks like they do.
He does.
How far back was Slammed? Was Slammed... Oh, Slammed is now into that 5th position, so Fetz is gonna come out. As Slammed comes out just behind Fetz. Actually, a bit more of a gap than I thought.
Oh, Fetz came out ahead of him. Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, Fetz going almost a little bit too deep, though. He keeps it on, though.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell sometimes where you're going to come out on this track because the pit exit is so long.
Yeah, and you don't actually drive the exit in the race, so you just teleport out to the end of it. So
yeah, it's a little strange.
A little strange. Big Line not too far off of Quasi now, though.
Yeah, definitely putting the pressure on. He's on hards. What tires are Quasi on?
Quasi's on the softs.
On the softs. Traffic.
Quasi.
Just elbows out, trying to
elbows out
hold
there.
on to that position desperately.
He knows that Big Blind is coming.
You're just out a very big lead. I mean, just very solid race, well executed.
It looked like Quasi didn't take as much fuel in that stop because he's probably saving right now. That might be why Big Blind was able to catch up so much. Big Blind also pretty low on fuel. See, I have quite a bit more, enough to go all out. There's 10 seconds left in this race.
I think this is going to be the last lap.
Their last lap. Is he going to get caught at the line? I think he might. And that is the 1 hour mark. So, Quasi coming to the line to take home second. Oh, looks like he might have ran out of gas right at the end there.
Wow,
he
that was
second.
Timed perfectly.
Yeah, Big Blind in third. Guitar going through the bus stop.
Great recovery though from Quasi.
Not behind. Yeah, for sure.
Izzy trailing me. He's a lap down. I like the livery on that car.
Yeah, me too. And
You see here a little bit of shenanigans coming up. He tries to take me out across the line.
Yeah, the line.
We didn't give him a penalty because it's just goofing around. But yeah, it was kind of caught me off guard when I was racing.
So Fetz, slammed now. Pretty close to the back of Fetz. But Fetz holds on to it. Finish 5th. Oh, but Slammed runs out of gas.
Limping across the line.
Who was that finishing? Not entirely sure. That might have been me, I think. Mike in 8th. Racing Visitor coming across the line now in 9th.
It might be crazy a lap down for Slammed.
In 10th. Alright, so that is it. Finishing order on track was myself. Up top, Quasi in 2nd. Big Blind finishing 3rd. However, there were some penalties added at the end of this race for the accumulation of 6 different incidents. Big Blind received a 60-second penalty. So he finished 3rd, but he ends up 6th behind Guitar and Slammed. The other penalty given...
Fetz as well. Fetz
as well, yes.
So yeah, I moved up to 3rd, Fetz into 4th, and Slammed into 5th. Big Blind went from 3rd to 6th. Now, of course, we have to address the penalties that were given to Craig. So as I mentioned earlier, he was disqualified from the race. With that, he wouldn't have finished in the points in the top 10, but of course he would have gotten some points for actually showing up and attending the race. We decided that because he's disqualified, he's going to forfeit those points as well. And on top of that, he's going to be subject to a 1-week race ban, so he's not going to be allowed to race next week during our GR3 race in Barcelona. And he's also going to receive a qualifying ban the week after that. So in 2 weeks' time, we are scheduled to do another GR1 race at Le Mans. Because of the blue flag incident with Quasi, we decided that, and of course, taking out Big Blind the way he did, we decided that we'd also give him a qualifying ban for that race. And then aside from that, other penalties, I received a 5-second penalty for that first lap contact with Quasi that put him in the grass. That ended up not affecting the race order. I believe it was Fetz who was behind me. Yes, Fetz finished behind me, more than 20 seconds behind me, I believe. So the race order wasn't affected from that. And then also there were some incidents involving Tricky Potato. One where he kind of dive bombed Big Blind, and I think he went off track a little bit because of that. But as we mentioned earlier, Tricky Potato did disconnect DNF, so not really a whole lot we can do as far as time penalties. So those are all the penalties, incidents, and if you want to conclude things, Levendy.
Yeah, so in the end, I end up taking that race with Quasi in 2nd, and Guitar in 3rd, Fetz in 4th, Slammed in 5th, Big Blind 6th with that penalty, Izzy in 7th, Mikey in 8th, Racing Visitor in 9th, Trick Mobile in 10th, Crazy in 11th, with Tricky Potato DNFing, finishing 12th, and Craig being disqualified. Now the standings, it's definitely heating up out front. Quasi still holding that lead with 182 points, 5 wins. Myself in 2nd now with 173 points, so 9 points behind with 2 wins. Big Blind in 3rd with 171, only 2 points off of me, and that penalty did hurt him for points. He would be sitting 2nd right now with 1 win. Then it's Fetz in 4th with 120, Guitar in 5th with 106, Slammed in 6th with 89, Tricky Potato in 7th with 69, Izzy in 8th with 59, Trick Mobile in 9th with 49, Racing Visitor in 10th with 34, Crazy in 11th with 32, Craig in 12th with 29, and Mikey in 13th with 13 points. Mikey only making 3 starts. Everyone else pretty much 6 or 7 starts. So heating up out front. It's looking like it'll be a close race. Next week we are at Spain, which will be back in the GR3 cars. So I think that'll be a pretty good track for the Porsches. We'll see how it works out. But yeah, this was
We're
a
running
pretty fun
the no
event.
chicane layout, by the way,
The no
which
chicane,
is
yes.
a popular request.
Yes, that
For
chicane
Barcelona,
and burn in hell. So.
But yeah, exactly. but of course, congratulations to Tricky. I think it was his second sprint race win
Yes.
of the season. He's been pretty good with those. Of course, 11D. I think it was also your second win, main race win of the year.
It was.
So congratulations.
Yeah, this GR1, I
And,
think it was pretty fun. I think it worked out, and we got another one lined up for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and I'm excited for that. And so yeah, with that, I think thank you anyone if you actually watched the end of this video, and I look forward to racing next week. Any final notes, Guitar?
No, we pretty much covered everything. Thanks for racing, everyone, and yeah, see you next week. Adios.